Hey YouTube, what's going on? Listen, let's talk about the OnePlus 8 Pro. Why not the OnePlus 8 Pro in 2022? Listen, I can give you 5 quick reasons why you should consider picking up this device. And for those of you that are only going to watch a couple of minutes of this video, I can just square it off right now. I can just give you 5 reasons right now, and you could just turn off the video and just go about your business if you don't want to watch the rest of it, because there's more reasons. But for those of you that, you have a very, very short attention span, let me give you 5 reasons for me why you should pick up this device. Excuse me, the display, performance, battery life, the speakers, and the cameras. So if that's all you need to know, you can move on. But for those of you that are actually going to stick around and let me list all the reasons why you should pick up this device, please stick around. Now, do me a favor. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. That really helps me out, and I would appreciate it very much. But I have 16 reasons why you should consider picking up the OnePlus 8 Pro in 2022. First of all, now this is going to be important to a lot of people, not everybody, but I think most people this is going to be very important. The first thing I'm going to mention here, the phone is unlocked for all carriers. Now, unfortunately, I have a couple of devices where that's not the case, and that hurts those devices. I say as far as people that live in the U.S. Now, people outside of the U.S., you're going to have a lot more options. But for people that live in the U.S., most people are going to want a phone that they could use here, and if a phone is unlocked and you could be used on all carriers, that's going to be a phone that you're going to be more likely to consider. All right. Next thing, this is a flagship device, okay, with all the amenities, released in 2020. So it's still not even 2 years old yet, almost 2 years old. Now, if it's 2 years old, then I'm wrong. But okay, let's say the device is 2 years old. That's not really old, honestly. Now, for some of you in the tech world, year to year, like the next new thing, the other thing is old and nobody wants to care about it. But, it's time that we keep talking about these older flagship devices, because there's nothing wrong with them. And as long as they're operating, very, very well with no issues, why not consider getting them? Because keep in mind, you're going to pay so much less than you would the flagships that are coming out now, unless, you're going with Samsung and you have something of value to trade in and they knock off $500-$600 off the price of the device you're looking at, then that's different. But if you're the type of person that's not a Samsung fan, but you do like Android and you like OnePlus, or you may like, Google and, different devices like that, or maybe LG, then you can still get a flagship phone, but you'll get it for way, way less than a newer device. Now, I don't know the current price of this phone, but I'm sure it's considerably less than what it was. Now, when this first came out, I believe this phone was like $900, but I'm sure you could probably find this now for probably $500 or less. Probably around $400. It's possible, but I just didn't, get around to checking out the most recent prices. But check on eBay, check on Amazon, and any other outlets that you may decide to shop. Now, I'm talking about people that are not looking to, get this device, paying on it month to month. I'm talking about people that can just go out and just go get the device. All right. Now, let's get started on the 16 reasons why you should consider picking up this device. First one is the design. Now, most phones are not, this is an old design because the camera is dead centered, which most cameras on the left side of the phone these days. And then you have every now and then, like the Pixel, where the camera bar goes all the way across the whole, whole back of the phone. Or let me give you another difference. Or you got a phone like the Mi 11 Ultra that has the biggest camera module on any smartphone that's ever been made, period. Nobody's even close except maybe the S20 Ultra. This is a huge camera sensor. It covers half of the whole back of the device, but I love it because it's different. And you got a secondary display back there. So I like the design of this phone. I love this color too. The emerald green, love it. And I tell you what, I really like the phone, the camera's centered in the center as opposed to on the left or on the right. Or if it went all the way across, that's fine. You know, if it was turned this way, that'd be fine. But I really like it centered like this. I really like this design. I know most are getting away from that, but I really like that design. Next, build quality. Now you got Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. The build quality on this phone is excellent. Now let me just take this case off really quick. You got a matte finish, so no fingerprints for those of you that like to use your phone without a case. Definitely you're going to like the way this feels. Now it's kind of thin. I prefer a phone with just a little more thickness because a phone like this can get a little irritating in my hand because of how thin it is. But for those people that really like thin phones, you're going to like this phone. You know, thin and light phones. It has a little bit of weight, but it's not a heavy phone at all. But Gorilla Glass, no scratches on this display at all. No micro scratches, nothing. Gorilla Glass 5 is very resilient to scratches. So if you hear Gorilla Glass 5, you'll be fine with it, honestly. It's a very strong glass. So you got this nice matte finish on the back, no fingerprints, not really that slippery, but I prefer a case because it's just easier for me to hold on to the phone, and it adds a little more thickness to the phone, which is what I prefer. I really don't like thin phones. So I love the design, I love the build quality. Next, as you can see, always on display. I need an always on display. I'm spoiled by them. I'm used to them. I love a phone that has the always on display. As you can see there, the time, the date, the day, battery percentage, and your notifications. I need it always on display. Next, face unlock. Now, face unlock on here is also very good. It's pretty quick. Now, it's not as fast as some other devices I have, but it is pretty quick. As you can see how fast it's opening and closing. And I'm behind the camera. So it's up there with the best of the best when it comes to face unlock, honestly. So you'll love face unlock. Something you don't get on the Pixel. And unfortunately, something you don't get on the LG Wing or the LG V60. I like face unlock. Is it the most secure way of opening your phone? No, but it's about convenience. And I like having more than one biometric way to open up my device. So I love the face unlock on here. And if you do too, you're going to love it. It's actually very fast and it's 100% accurate. Next, the in-display fingerprint sensor. Now, it's not 100% for me, but it's good. It's good. It works pretty well. Now, it does, for some reason, it doesn't always work 100%. It works more like, for me, like 99%. Now, maybe it's my finger placement. Maybe I'm just not placing it correctly every time, but you shouldn't have to, you know, it shouldn't have to be perfect for the phone to open, but it is good. So I say for me, it's been about 98%. So it is good. And you get a little animation when you hit it. And also you can change the animation, and also it has some haptic feedback. So you'll get a little vibration when you press it. Next, this phone is also IP68 water and dust resistant. So you don't have to worry about it getting any water damage. 5 feet for 30 minutes, you'll be fine. Next, the battery life. Now, this has a 4,510 milliamp battery. I'm usually averaging about a day and a half to 2 days. That's my usage, and that's with the Quad HD resolution at its peak. That's motion graphics smoothing. That's 120 hertz and 100% brightness. That's the way I use my device. Everybody don't use their device like that. Probably most people don't use their device like that, but that's me. If I'm going to spend my hard-earned money on a device that is capable of all these great things, I'm using it at its peak. I'm using it at max everything. That's just how I roll. So I don't see any point in having a phone of this magnitude if you're not going to use the 120 hertz. You know, you're not going to use Quad HD. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So for me and my usage, I'm using this thing at max. But that's good. For me, I'm satisfied with that. A day and a half to 2 days, I'm cool with that. And that's me using the phone really heavy. Next, let's talk about the battery charging speeds. Now you get 30-watt warp, wired, and wireless charging on this device. So you can charge this phone up pretty quick. Now, it's not the fastest out there compared to the newer devices, but for the average person, you'll be fine with this. You'll definitely get 100%. Let me see, from 0 to 100%, probably in like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes, something like that. But you can go from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes. So it's not bad. It's not, like it's said, it's not fast as some other newer models out here. Because, I think the max now is like 120-watt super fast charging. Some people are going to like that. Some people are not, because some people feel like it's going to kill the longevity of their battery. Well, I do have phones that charge really, really fast. It has not affected the long-term longevity of my battery. So that's my experience. I can't speak for others. So I love the battery charging speeds on this device. Next, this phone has wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. Now, reverse wireless charging only 3.5 watts, so it's super low. It's almost like, why did they even bother to go 3.5 watts? I guess they just wanted to put that on there. But it is on there, and more than likely you're going to use that for wearables, such as a smartwatch or some earbuds, some wireless earbuds. But to try to even give a phone some charge with 3.5 watts is not even worth it. It's a waste of time. But it's on there, so that's a flagship feature. Next, you're getting 12 gigs of RAM on this device. So for those of you that are into gaming, those of you that are into multitasking, you're not going to have any problems with this device. 12 gigs of RAM holds, it works very well. RAM management is great, and it holds a lot of apps open in the background. Next, let's talk about future software support. So this device is going to receive Android 13 and 2 more years of security patches. I'll say it again, Android 13 and 2 more years of security patches. So the phone is future-proof. You don't have to worry about that. And it is 5G capable as well, for those of you that didn't know that. All right, next, let's talk about the display. Now, I'm going to be honest with everybody. This is my favorite part of this device by far. This display probably is the best display that I have on all of my smartphones. Even the Mi 11 Ultra is just a little bit behind this when it comes to overall display quality. And that Mi 11 Ultra is an awesome display. Trust me. 1700 nits brightness, quad HD resolution is beautiful, but the vividness of this display, the sharpness, is just outstanding. I'm telling you, like yesterday when I was just playing around with this phone, I was just laying it around. I didn't want the display to go off. I just loved looking at the display from one picture to the next. That's why I use HD wallpapers, because I want to see something different. Every time I open up my phone, I want to see something different. See, you just saw it change again. I want to see something different every single time I open up my phone. And I'm telling you right now, the sharpness, the crispness, if I'm saying that right, the vividness, the saturation, the punchy colors. Look, this device is awesome. It's my favorite part of this whole device by far. And the 120 hertz, along with the motion graphics smoothing, make it even better. So you're looking at a Quad HD Plus AMOLED display with HDR10 Plus, 120 hertz refresh rate, 513 pixel density, and motion graphic smoothing. Now, what the motion graphic smoothing is when you're watching video content, it makes the video look even smoother and more realistic. Now, let me turn the volume down so I don't get no copyright issues, and I'll show you a little bit of this video, and maybe you'll be able to tell. See, now it's saying the motion graphic smoothing is just starting, but look at the clarity and the sharpness of this display. Now look how sharp and clear it is. It makes the picture you're watching extra smooth, and it just makes it look like everything is jumping right through, the screen. It's just beautiful. I mean, I hope y'all can see what I'm saying. It's just outstanding. So I'm loving the this display. It's the best display that I have on any of my smartphones. And there's some, like I said, the Mi 11 comes in right after it, but this is the best in my opinion. All right. Also, with the display, you do have 4 settings. Now, for those of you that don't like it this vivid, this punchy, and this sharp and all that, you do have 4 settings. You got vivid, you got natural, and you got advanced. Now, I have it on advanced, okay, because I want the most sharp and most punchy and color-rich display that they offer. And also, you got vibrant color effect, where you could punch up the colors even more. So they do give you some options. Everybody don't like super vibrant, saturated, vivid colors like this. Some people like a more natural look. So you do have that option. Keep that in mind. All right, next, let's talk about performance. Now, you got the Snapdragon 865 and Oxygen OS on top of Android. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, OnePlus has always been known for having great performance on their devices. Super snappy and very smooth is what I'm going to show you right here. You see how fast that opened? Everything opens up really, really fast, nice and smooth. Boom. Just everything just opens up super fast. You can see how fast everything is opening. It ain't taking like no time at all. This phone is the truth. Like if you're considering this, you should consider it, and if you need a fast phone, you're gonna get that. You see how fast this thing is opening up apps? It's crazy. Now this one always takes maybe like 3 seconds, but it's still fast. You see how fast everything goes back? I mean, it's just ridiculous. So you're not gonna have no issues with performance. This thing is a performance champion. This keeps up with my Mi 11 Ultra and any new, my Note 20 Ultra, any new phone that I have right now. This keeps right up with them. This ain't slacking at all. Just because it has a 2-year-old processor don't mean jack. This is just as fast as the 888 and the 8 next generation or whatever that new one is out. Just as fast, trust me. All right. And OnePlus does a very great job of optimizing their software so it'll keep performing at peak proficiency. So keep that in mind. So performance on this phone is A1, A+, great, awesome. Next, battery life. Now, I don't know if I mentioned battery life before. Oh, yeah, I did mention battery life. I'm sorry. I mentioned it a little too soon. But like I said, 1.5 to 2 days with the battery life. Next, the speakers. Dual stereo speakers dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos. Speakers sound very, very good. Now, they're not as great as some other phones that I have, but for the average consumer, you'll be fine with the level of sound and the quality of sound with this device. And also, I use a app on here. Let me show you if I have it in my settings here. It's called right here, Speaker Booster. So if you want to amp up the sound a little bit more and make it even louder, that Speaker Booster does work, and it works great. You turn that on, turn it up to maybe level 10. Let me show you. So here it is. That's what it looks like right there. Speaker Booster. Turn it on. Now, sometimes you'll get ads, sometimes you won't. It'll say this. All you do is hit this arrow up here in the corner. And there you go. See, I got it set on 12, but you can set it on 10 also. And I'm telling you, it makes the phone super loud. Now, if you want to pay for even some more, you can now if you want to turn on the equalizer, you're going to have to pay for that, but you don't really need that. All you need is that. Turn it up a little bit. I'm telling you, it'll make basically any phone that you use the speaker dramatically louder, but I wouldn't go past 12. But I would usually average around between 10 and 12%. But I'm telling you, it works like a charm because some movies, that I have on my phone are not as loud as some other movies. So sometimes I need it, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the way, the sound level on that particular movie or the sound level on different music. All right. Next and last is the cameras. This is by far. Now, I'm just talking about what I have. I don't have the 9 Pro, and the 10 Pro looks hideously ugly with that design. It looks horrible. But this is by far the best OnePlus device with the camera that I've ever used, period. These photos are beautiful. Check them out real quick. Now, I did these in my full review, but if you want to see them here, check them out and y'all tell me what you think. Now, it's up to you whether you think those photos are great and the video is great. I do. I really believe this thing takes excellent photos and excellent video. Now, you do get 4 cameras on the rear. You get a 48 megapixel wide with laser autofocus and optical image stabilization, an 8 megapixel telephoto lens with optical image stabilization and 3 times optical zoom. And you're getting a 48 megapixel ultra wide and a 5 megapixel color filter. The color filter is a waste of time. I wouldn't even bother with that at all. And your video does shoot at 1080p at 30 and 60 and 4K at 30 and 60. On the front, you got a 16 megapixel wide that shoots in 1080p at 30 only. Now, to me, that's probably one of the most disappointing things about this phone is there's no 1080p at 60 and there's no 4K at all on the front camera. That's the only thing. I mean, it don't hurt the phone, but I'm saying for this to be a flagship that's supposed to have all the amenities, I don't know why OnePlus would not put 4K capability on this phone, especially with this phone costing almost $1,000. So that's a disappointment, but that's about it. Of course, no headphone jack, no expandable memory, which matters to me, but it don't matter to everybody. You can, there is a 128 gig variant and a 256 variant. Now, the thing that OnePlus bothers me also, no 512 gig variant, no terabyte variant. You're going to be, they're going to be asking for over $1,000 for these devices. They're not going to put expandable memory on them. The least you could do is give us some more variants. It should start out with 256, then 512, and give us a 1 terabyte variant. All right. But I'll say this in my conclusion. This is definitely worth picking up in 2022. This is a beast of a device, and I highly recommend the OnePlus 8 Pro in 2022. So please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload another video. Want to ask everybody out there to take care, stay safe, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.